Okay, so we've been ordering GameStop stuff for the past couple weeks now. Of course, did the refurbished systems, which were pretty interesting to see what they've done to them. Then we did the retro order, and that was okay. There were some issues with it, and then some good spots as well. And now I ordered a bunch of GameCube games. Now, the reason I ordered GameCube games is because going into 2019, I really want to start building my GameCube collection back up, as it's kind of been revolving door for a little while for all the GameCube stuff. Of course, when you're younger and a new system comes out, you trade in all your stuff, so I lost a lot of GameCube games back then. And I kept talking about kind of, I guess, trying to work towards completing the collection, especially now because GameCube stuff is, it's going up there. It's getting kind of expensive now, so I thought I'd try to jump on that before it gets like out of control. So I ordered a bunch of games from them. I think I ordered 12 or 13 GameCube games from them, and I wanted to take a look at it. I did cut it open, and I did not intend to make a video for it, to be honest, because, well, I figured it would just be a bunch of loose GameCube games that may or may not be in good quality. But once I actually opened it, I was a bit surprised by what's in here. So I figure we'll actually open up here because, you know, I do harp on GameStop for a lot of their stuff, but sometimes they send you stuff that's above your expectations. This appears to be that. I have not gone much deeper than a picture I posted on Twitter of the top, so that'll be fun to kind of, I guess, discover that one together. Also, I have my GameCube out here because I got another package in the mail alongside of this that's technically related because it's GameCube stuff. And this was a cool idea that someone actually had, and they have it on Etsy. And they asked if I want to take a look at the jewels and things that they sell. And they didn't really ask me to make a video over it or anything. They sent me some stuff to give away even to people, which maybe we'll do that going forward here. And basically, they are jewels that you can replace your top GameCube jewel with if it's all scratched or damaged, or sometimes they just fall off completely. It's pretty cool. They have a bunch of custom ones. They even did one for the channel there, which is neat. They have a couple of them. I'll actually show you a picture here. A Metroid one, Mario Kart, and then Paper Mario. The Paper Mario one looks really cool, by the way. And these actually stick in, and getting your original one off is pretty easy. They also sent me this RGT 85 one. I'm not really sure why they sent that. Oh, they want me to give that to them. It's probably okay. But that's from Rocker Gaming. I'll actually leave a link to their Etsy store down in the description. You can check them out if you're interested in getting a replacement jewel for your GameCube to customize it or just make it look nicer. All right, now let's get into this box. Also, I did close that Spider-Man box on the back here. I do read the comments, but let's look in here. So I do have a full order slip here that kind of tells how much everything was. And the reason I ordered a bunch of these games is, believe it or not, GameStop actually has pretty good pricing on their retro games right now. You might be able to see some of it here, but the total I paid after tax was $134.36. And I guess I could count down here, but as we go through here, I'll count. I think it was like 12 or 13 games. And I'll also kind of talk about the prices as I take these out, since I'll just kind of keep this list over here next to me. You can already see right on top why I may have gotten a little excited, because there's two different Zelda games. They're both cased. Let me explain to you a bit about this. When I ordered these games, I was not expecting any cases, because I've seen others, including a Modern Vintage Gamer, who ordered them and got maybe 2 cases out of the whole package. So I ordered these expecting to have to get my own cases, and I actually started looking around before these even arrived. So the fact that all of the cases are here, from what I can tell, because it goes all the way down to the bottom and I don't see anything loose kind of packed in here, was pretty exciting. So let's see. What's this? This is for cash or credit. Just load up this bag and bring it to your neighborhood GameStop store. They have a SKU on the bag. That's odd. So they just sent me a bag, and they want me to fill it with stuff to send to them. Well, I can do that. Here we go. Oh, I feel a handle on it too. Nice. All right. One Soulja Boy game console coming up. Finally find a use for this thing, right? All right. Actually, you know, that's probably not going to work. You need a controller if you trade into GameStop too, obviously. So the first one I have on top right away is Zelda 4 Swords Adventures. I'm gonna put this box aside, we're gonna look through them. And like I said, when I saw this, I was really excited because they had this one for, and it's not even in like a good order here. This one was $13.49, because if you have like their Edge card or whatever it is, you get 10% off. It's probably not even called Edge card anymore. This is the one issue. I don't think any of these are gonna have manuals, because for some reason, they don't ever have manuals with some of their stuff. I think some Xbox ones do, because I think Modern Vintage Gamer did get some. Let's take a quick look at the game. Looks good, looks good. There is some swirl marks on here, so it probably did go through resurfacing. There's also a little bit of residue on the center ring there, which again means that it probably went through a refurbishing of some kind, usually some kind of disc resurfacing. However, the top looks good, which is usually where there's damage that's going to actually affect how it plays. The side is not rounded, which is something else I noticed that can happen if it's through a resurfacing too much. This will no longer be like a kind of a sharp right angle. It actually become curved. So yeah, so far so good. No manual, which is kind of a shame. However, finding manuals are actually not too bad, as you can usually order them, believe it or not, in bulk. People just sell manuals for like GameCube or PS2 or whatnot on eBay, and you can find like massive bundles of them and buy them up. But the cover art looks okay. They do that thing still where they stick stuff obviously on the back, but everything else looks good. This is a good start and definitely better than what I thought I was going to get. I was positive I was going to get just the disc, and that's going to be kind of a reoccurring theme going through here. Next up, we have a game that I actually didn't get to play, Day of Reckoning 2. Once again, same deal here where there's no manual. The disc, swirl marks again, but nothing too crazy or out of the ordinary. The top side is what you want to check on. The one issue that I see here, and I think this might happen at times with, which is fine. I actually don't have the first one either, which is fine, but this is actually the first one. So that is actually the incorrect game. However, I believe the first and second disc look very, very similar. Obviously, it has a 2 on it, but this is just Day of Reckoning from what I can see there. So they actually sent the first one, which is a shame because I actually wanted to play the second one. I have not played the second one. I played a lot of the first one, and I remember this was after WrestleMania 19, where you actually went and like attacked construction workers. Otherwise, though, the casing looks correct. They just sent me the wrong game. Still at least Day of Reckoning, but I guess I'll have to hunt down the second one, and then I'll have to get cover art for the first one. Maybe if I were the first game, it'll show up in the first one will show up with the first cover art and the second disc, maybe? I don't know. Okay, so that obviously wasn't the best example there, but here we are with Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest. This is the disc. I believe it was a promotional disc I think you could buy at the time, and I never had this one either, but I always have people talk about it. Sometimes they would come into the store and trade it in, and I did get a chance to play it a few times. This had, I believe, an extra dungeon that was all a bit different from Ocarina of Time, for example. Everyone wanted the collector's edition that had 4 of the Zelda games on there, Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time 1 and 2, and I'll eventually hunt that one down, but I did see this, and it was at a good price. So let me actually, I forgot to mention Day of Reckoning 2's price as well. Day of Reckoning 2 was $6.29, and this one, the Zelda Ocarina of Time, the Master, let me put that in there, the Master Quest, also the disc looks pretty good, by the way. That one was $17.99, so again, not too bad there. GameCube games are getting pricey. If you start looking these games up, you'll see for yourself that some of these are a bit more expensive than what we're seeing here, which is cool. I'm also getting a lot of sleeves because they just seem to put the sleeves in there and don't actually put the disc in, so that's something, I guess. But yes, another good one to pick up. And I'm actually pretty excited. This apparently also has, you know what, maybe that was another disc, because I thought this had 2 discs. Maybe there was like a demo disc that came with it for F-Zero, 1080, snowboarding, Zelda, Wind Waker, Metroid Prime, and then Wario World. So that's kind of neat. But yeah, this is one I want to check out on the GameCube. Should be pretty cool. So this is a bit unfortunate. It's not too bad though. But this is not an original GameCube case. It is Star Fox Assault, which is, in a lot of people's minds, like one of the best Star Fox games that came out. Definitely on the GameCube because, of course, Star Fox Adventures wasn't even really a Star Fox game. So I get that. That makes sense to me. This one was, let's see, this one was, it's all in all different types of orders here. Star Fox Assault. This one was $8.99. Let's open it up. Like I said, it is still a DVD case, and it is the actual cover art. None of these from what I've seen so far are printed cover arts, so good news there. Star Fox Assault, it is the actual game, which is good. A little bit of residue on the middle, which means it was in some way worked on. Okay, that looks good. Yes, another good one there. And the only issue I can see is that it's, of course, not the original GameCube case. However, that can be fixed. I can probably find a Madden Sports or something and take that and change it out, as long as it doesn't say like EA on the inside or something. But Star Fox sold for $9 though. That's not bad. And it has the cover art, and it is the, oh, is this the Player's Choice one? Because I thought they did like yellow for that, right? Maybe not. Oh, bestseller. It's the bestseller one. Okay. Either way, though, it's still pretty cool to get that for $9. Next up, we have Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. This is one I actually didn't have on the GameCube. I think I played this one on the PS2 back in the day. How much was Spyro? Spyro was $4.49. Again, this is not an actual GameCube case. It does have the actual cover art, though, which I think most of these are probably going to have the actual cover art because I'm on a roll right now. Nothing printed so far. Bottom of the disc looks good. Minor scratching. This one... No, this one still looks like it went through a refurbishment process, as you can just see the residue usually on the center ring. Top side looks good, no obvious scratching or anything. So we have a good disc here. $4.50 basically, though, is, again, pretty good. I would look at, if you're thinking about starting a collection for something like the GameCube, for example, now might be the time to start getting a lot of the commons, as GameCube games are actually cheaper than I think they should be on GameStop's website. Again, you're taking a bit of a risk and a gamble, obviously, with the games possibly coming in something like a standard DVD case, maybe just a sleeve. But so far, I've been pretty happy. And the commons, more than likely, will have their cases with them, I would assume, but we'll see as we go down this box here. Next up is one I really wanted to replace. I have this game, but the disc does not work. It stopped working. So honestly, if they didn't even send me the cover art for this, doesn't matter. I have it in the manual, but I got another case for it, and it's the actual one. You know what? That means that I can replace Star Fox Assault with this. So that actually, okay, that's good then. We're good there. A lot of residue on the center, minor scratch here. No gouges or anything, so that's good news. Everything, like I said, looks like they probably just put most things. Awesome cover, awesome disc, by the way, I like that. Everything probably just goes through a disc cleaning machine before they send it out. That's probably like mandatory almost, which I guess is good and bad depending on the way you look at it. It doesn't look obvious that it's like they put it through too much. If you put it through a disc refurbishing machine too much, it can actually wear down the top layer of plastic and you can get some damage on the disc. But this looks like they probably ran it through like once or twice maybe, and it looks good. I'll have to test all these to make sure, but the fact that there's no top side damage makes me hopeful that all these will work. And like I said, I just really wanted a working Metroid Prime because I actually already have the cover art and the manual. So one of these, probably Star Fox Assault, will actually get this case. A little bit of cleaning there, no big deal. Otherwise though, looks pretty good. Again though, sticker on the back. These stickers are the worst. I swear, I hate ripping these stickers off. They never come off right. Also, Metroid Prime was $8.99. So again, not bad at all for that. Next up is Tales of Symphonia, and this is one that I really wanted to be the actual case, and I think most of you know why, because it is a dual disc. So it has two different discs in here for the game. Loved this game a lot on the GameCube. I actually had this when I was younger, and I really like playing it. It does have multiplayer as well, so you can hook up a couple GameCube controllers and play with some friends, but this, unfortunately, is not the right case, so it doesn't have the two slots for discs. So if you have an order in for games like this, for example, or even more expensive, something like the Metal Gear Twin Snakes, it might just come like this, which would be a shame because Twin Snakes is fairly expensive. So let's take a look at what these discs look like. I can already see a ton of residue for this one. You can probably even see it in the camera. Ton of residue around that center ring. So this one may have been run through a couple times. A lot of swirl marks. No obvious gashes, but I can definitely see that it's been run through a few times. No topside damage. This is disc 1, so this is the one that I would assume probably gets the most play. That one's actually going to go in the center. I'll put this 2 in the side here in the sleeve. And disc 2, it looks like they both got ran through a lot. Yeah, a lot of swirl marks. Again, though, I'll see how they function and work and everything. A lot of residue in the middle. Disc 2, so I did get both discs, which is good, as we just saw, of course, Day of Reckoning. That's another issue, something I was concerned about, and I'm glad to see that this is good, is that any of the dual disc games that require them, that they forget about one or something, but Tales of Symphonia, both discs, pretty good. Now, how much was Tales of Symphonia? This one was $8.99. Again, a pretty good price for a GameCube game like this. Actual cover art, no manual. So I'll have to get a case for this, which now that I'm thinking about, I'm gonna have to figure out if I want this. No, actually I can't because it's a dual disc. So I need to find a dual disc GameCube case and the manual. That might actually be a bit of a pain. SoulCalibur 2 is next, $6.29. Good price on this. I love this SoulCalibur game, even though I'm not into fighting games. And at the time, it was cool because each game got its own character that kind of represented, I guess, just the system more or less. Although the Xbox had Spawn. So, okay, sure. But, of course, I believe the PS2 one had Hayachi, which was neat. And then this one, of course, everyone knows because he's right on the front, Link from Legend of Zelda. So, of course, I really liked this game. And the visuals on this were awesome. Oh, man, if you have one of the HDMI Eon adapters for this game in particular, it looks tremendous. And again, not a bad price for this. Minor residue, minor swirl marks. This one looks good. This one looks very good. No topside damage on any of these discs either, which is amazing because that's how you usually get a GameCube game that will not work. I have to test them again. Actual GameCube case, awesome. I'm just missing the manual. That should be pretty easy to find for SoulCalibur 2. So I'm excited actually to play this again because I really like this game a lot. I just remember being blown away by the visuals in this game because that was the first time, I'm trying to remember right, I believe this was the first time we saw Link with these kind of visuals on the GameCube because Twilight Princess had not come out yet, if I'm remembering right. So when I saw this, I had to get it just because Link was like fully rendered on the GameCube and looked insane. So we have 2 more left. Shadow the Hedgehog, not, I guess, people's favorite game, but again, I was trying to go for some of the commons as well, and this one's fairly easy to find, but it was only $4.50, so I went ahead and threw this in the basket as well. Good looking bottom, nothing too crazy. Again, it goes through the machine, so they have a lot of these that are doing that. But it looks pretty good. I mean, $4.50 for Shadow, just to kind of fill out the collection. No manual still. I don't think I'm going to get a manual. I have 1 more game left, and I have not seen a manual yet, which is kind of a shame. But Shadow the Hedgehog, I don't know if I'm going to play much of this, but again, it's mostly filling out a lot of the commons that are cheaper from GameStop's website while they have them. And finally, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. This is, again, one that I had this one back in the day, and I remember when, I think the 360 came out, like all of us did, well, most of us did anyway, when we were younger. I traded it in, and I immediately regret it now, obviously, or even maybe back then I did, because Metroid Prime 2 Echoes was fun. Now, not everyone liked Echoes. I liked it. I thought it was a fun game. I haven't played it in forever, but I now have it again. It looks good there. Yeah, more swirl marks around the outside especially, but nothing insane or anything. Residue in the center as well. But top side looks good, and that's the part that I'm always concerned about when it comes to this. And we do have the actual case, memory card slot right there for it and everything. Cover art looks good. And this is the one next to this, and probably, I would say probably Zelda, 4 Swords and Ocarina of Time that are the more expensive ones, I believe. This one, how much was this one? This one was only $9. Okay, cool. So Metroid Prime 1 and 2 together are $18, which is actually a really good deal. No manual for either, which is, again, a shame, but I think I can get a bulk order of all different types of manuals and fill out that part. That's actually not terrible to do. But this game, at least in good condition on the top side and everything, with the actual case for the GameCube, is good. $9 for this one, and then $9 for the first one. Complete that Metroid Prime collection on the GameCube for 18 bucks. Yeah, I'll do that. So I've now noticed something as I was going through here. I looked at this stack, which looks pretty cool, by the way. And then I looked down at the list and I was like, man, I'm missing some games, I think. Like, this is a good stack, but apparently I ordered 15 games. These are 10 here. So I was missing 5, and I look in the box and I have like 1 piece of packing material, and I have this. I think the rest of my games are in here, which I'm trying to think of which ones are in here. I don't think any of the expensive ones were in here. There's one that I really kind of was hoping I'd get the case for because I really like the case for it. But let's open this guy up and I'll show you which ones. I'll show you the one that I was really hoping the case would be with it, but I don't think it is. But to get more cased games than non-cased, I guess with GameStop is a win. So here we go. I'll also give you pricings for these as well. Let's just go through these real quick since there's no cases for them, and we'll check the condition. We have Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, disc only. Love Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Specifically, the first level was amazing. This one was $13.49. That's the most expensive one, I believe, out of the loose copies. Residue on the center ring there. On the bottom, it's swirl marks, but nothing terrible. Again, though, this is one of the ones I really wish I had the case for, but I guess it's not terrible. Again, this isn't one of the super rare games on the system, but I really like the case for Adventure 2 Battle. Next up is Need for Speed Most Wanted. I really liked Most Wanted, and I was, again, hoping, oh, this has like one of those center rings. Usually means that's like it was cracked at one point in time. Let's see. A little bit of scuffing on the top there. Nothing terrible. Actually, it looks all right. Usually when you see the center ring part there, usually that means that there was some kind of cracking, and that's what these are supposed to cover up. So I can kind of see in there, not easily though. I'll test this one. I liked Most Wanted, and I wanted to pick up a Need for Speed game for the GameCube, so I grabbed this. Unfortunately, some of these are going to be kind of annoying to find the cases for. Not necessarily Need for Speed, but there's a few in here that will be. One of my favorite games on in the Star Wars franchise, I would say, is not necessarily KOTOR. It's actually Jedi Outcast, and I picked that up for the GameCube as well. There we go. And again, the center part, that usually means there's some kind of cracking with the plastic, or they had to protect it in some way. So Need for Speed Most Wanted was $5.39. Star Wars Jedi Outcast, or Jedi Knight Jedi Outcast, was $8.99. I like this game a lot. I just wish there was a case for it, but that one actually won't be terrible to find the case for, I don't think, either. I think a lot of these cases, minus maybe Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, that might be kind of a pain because that game's slightly more rare than some of these other loose games. Then we had Beautiful Joe. I had to give Beautiful Joe back because that was like one of my favorite games. I didn't like the second one as much, but I really liked the first one. It was just so cool back in the day because it was super colorful and looked awesome. And this one, again, looks good on the bottom. No topside damage. Residue on the center ring, but that seems to be kind of the common theme here. Nothing crazy there. And then finally, we have Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. I actually liked Deadly Alliance back in the day mostly because of the crypt. And of course, that was the first time it really went into that 3D look where it wasn't necessarily the first time with, like, you know, the PlayStation doing that as well back in the day. But I remember Deadly Alliance came out and they killed off Liu Kang right in the beginning and it was like unthinkable. But it was so cool to see kind of a different take on the storyline and everything. And the crypt was really neat when they introduced that. And I actually liked going through and kind of unlocking everything. Even like unlocking concept art was super awesome. So a few loose ones here. But overall, not too bad. So overall, I got 15 games for $134. So I spent less than $10 a game. And some of these games here are pretty good. Both Metroid Primes, a couple Zelda games, of course, Star Fox Assault, Day of Reckoning 1, SoulCalibur 2, Tales of Symphonia, and then some pretty good loose games I'll have to work on getting the boxes for. Overall, you know what? I have to give GameStop credit on this one. This one, for $134 for 15 GameCube games, it's above average. They did a pretty good job on this, or I got lucky and got a good draw, maybe. I mean, that's probably what happened, to be honest. But I'm going to keep ordering different games from GameStop as I go along, and if I get really good ones, I'll show them, and if I get really bad ones, I'll show those too. But it's a lot of fun to do these unboxings, check out what we get. So if you guys enjoy these videos, hit the like button. It does help out a lot. If not, hit the dislike, and I'll see you guys in the next video.